Are you listening?
Welcome back to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, and we have a great show lined up for you today. A story that is filled with so much drama that it might as well be the main event of this year's WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, did somebody say WrestleMania? Yeah.
What is happening?
The Macho Man got a phone call this morning. Yeah. He said somebody is needing an expert in professional wrestling, so I'm here, brother.
But this is impossible. You are dead.
Zip it! The ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage is here because the sky's the limit and the space is the place. Yeah! Oh yeah!
So this is what the show's become. Cool. Now, if you're unaware of what we're talking about, Sports Gamers Online posted a story detailing how strained the relationship between WWE and 2K Sports has become, and how members of the dev team are reporting on massive infighting, along with threats of terminating the partnership from WWE. Now, I feel like to properly tell this story, we need a little backstory here. And you may remember that back in 2019, 2K Sports released WWE 2K20, which was launched with massive quality issues, extremely funny bugs, and looked like a game that wasn't ready to be beta tested, let alone released to the public. And after receiving so much backlash, 2K Sports insisted that they were going to skip a year and reimagine the franchise. Which brings us to today, 2021, where WWE 2K22 has been officially announced, and we have received the first trailer for the game, and for the most part, I mean, it looks pretty cool. However, according to this new report from Sports Gamers Online, we might need to tame our expectations greatly here. According to Michael Straw at SGO, who was quoting multiple contacts at 2K Sports along with developers at Visual Concepts who reported on infighting regarding the direction of the game, WWE and 2K Sports arguing over the release window, and how a recent batch of released WWE talent has caused the dev team to scramble. And obviously there is a lot to unpack there, so let's jump into the firings. SGO's report claims that WWE 2K22 is featuring a new game engine requiring new scans of wrestlers and character models to be built. And while the team has been hard at work creating WWE 2K22's roster, following WWE's release of top star talent like Bray Wyatt, The Big Show, Aleister Black, Andrade, and Braun Strowman, these releases have caused the team to rearrange and adjust in order to remove released superstars and add new WWE superstars to the game. In fact, one source told SGO that WWE 2K22 is shaping up to be the most outdated roster a game has ever seen. Which brings us to the conversation of release schedules, because WWE 2K22 is currently scheduled to release in March of 2022, which breaks a long-time tradition of WWE video games launching alongside the Survivor Series pay-per-view in the fall. And according to this report, WWE insisted that the game launched in its normal schedule, but following the poor performance of WWE 2K20, 2K Sports and Visual Concepts pushed extremely hard to delay the game to March of 2022, and luckily, it seems like they got it. And you know, probably one of the most interesting takeaways from this story was the report that WWE has become so dissatisfied with the current deal that they have with 2K Sports that during meetings, WWE execs would claim to have interest from other companies in order to put pressure on 2K Sports. In fact, SGO quoted a developer involved with the game saying that WWE abandoning the 2K partnership wouldn't take much, as people would assume. That's how bad it's been. But one great game and fan response could turn things right around. Typical WWE. Listen to the fans. Unless you're CM Punk, Andrade, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and anybody else that they've fired recently. Which raises an interesting point, because the last agreement between WWE and 2K was done back in 2016. And while it wasn't disclosed how long that deal would be, many assume that the agreement expires in 2022 or 2023. But with the WWE threatening to abandon the deal, we might see this partnership ending sooner rather than later if WWE 2K22 doesn't perform to expectations. And at the end of the day, as a lifelong wrestling fan and a lifelong gamer, I find this all fascinating because 2K Sports has been making wrestling games for so long that I honestly don't know who's left to make a new one. Like, of course, you have Ukes, and they are one of the best wrestling game developers out there, but they abandoned the WWE franchise after the disaster of WWE 2K19, and they are now working on WWE's rival AEW's first video game. And then you have Midway and THQ, who have both had experience in making wrestling games in the past, but they're both now defunct. I mean, technically, the Embracer Group owns THQ Nordic, so they could kind of come back and assist in the development, but that really only leaves us with EA, which could be interesting. I mean, I think a wrestling game on the Frostbite engine would look pretty sick, but as many microtransactions as Madden and FIFA had, I would be terrified to see what their rendition of a wrestling video game would look like. And I guess to wrap this whole thing up, what are your thoughts here? Are you hyped for WWE 2K22? Do any of these reports have any effect on your excitement? I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, so please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like it, which who wouldn't, hit the subscribe button right there. And while you're down there, hit the like button. Maybe even consider becoming a Nerf Report best friend, just like the people listed down below did. In fact, don't you want to see your name there? I know I do.